Capitalism reigns supreme. It's often touted as the ultimate system, promising prosperity for all. We are told that hard work leads to success, that innovation drives progress. We believe in the dream of upward mobility, but beneath this polished surface lies a harsh reality. Capitalism, as it stands, is inherently flawed. It thrives on inequality, creating a chasm between the haves and the have-nots. This economic disparity, often brushed aside, is the root cause of numerous societal ills. It distorts markets, stifles growth, and condemns generations to poverty. We must confront this inconvenient truth. The current system, with all its imbalances, is unsustainable. Ignoring these issues will only exacerbate them, leading to greater instability and suffering. It's time to lift the veil, expose the flaws, and chart a new course. The path forward requires a fundamental shift. We need an economic system that prioritizes people over profits, fairness over greed. Only then can we hope to build a world where prosperity is shared, not hoarded, and opportunity is a reality for everyone, not just a privileged few. Economic inequality is not a mere statistic, it's a lived reality. It manifests in the stark contrasts that define our societies. On one hand, we witness opulent wealth concentrated in the hands of a few. Luxury towers pierce the sky, a testament to their affluence. Gated communities isolate them from the struggles of the majority. On the other hand, poverty casts a long shadow. Millions struggle to make ends meet. Crumbling neighborhoods stand in stark contrast to the gleaming towers of the rich. Basic necessities like healthcare and education become luxuries out of reach. This divide isn't just morally wrong, it's economically destructive. When wealth is concentrated at the top, it chokes off demand. The majority, lacking purchasing power, cannot drive economic growth. This leads to a vicious cycle of stagnation and decline. We must acknowledge this fundamental flaw in the system. Ignoring it will only deepen the divide, creating a society fractured by resentment and instability. The time for action is now, before it's too late. Capitalism relies on a fundamental principle: demand. Consumers, with their needs and desires, drive the market. Businesses respond by producing goods and services, creating jobs and generating wealth. However, this delicate balance is disrupted when economic inequality takes hold. As wealth concentrates at the top, the purchasing power of the majority dwindles. The wealthy, despite their lavish lifestyles, represent a small fraction of the population. Their consumption alone cannot sustain a healthy economy. The vast majority, struggling to afford basic necessities, are unable to fuel demand. This lack of demand sends shockwaves through the economy. Businesses face declining sales and shrinking profits. Investment dries up, innovation stalls, and the engine of economic growth sputters. The promise of capitalism, that a rising tide lifts all boats, rings hollow. This is not a theoretical problem, it's a lived reality. We see it in the rise of underemployment, the decline of the middle class, and the persistence of poverty. The market, skewed by inequality, is failing to deliver on its promise. The consequences of diminished demand cascade through various sectors of the economy. Let's take the construction industry as an example. When people have money, they invest in homes, businesses expand, and infrastructure projects flourish. This creates jobs, boosts related industries, and stimulates overall economic activity. However, when demand shrinks, the construction industry is one of the first to feel the pain. New housing projects are put on hold. Businesses postpone expansions. Infrastructure projects are deemed too costly. The once bustling construction sites fall silent, a visible reminder of the economic downturn. This decline in construction has a ripple effect. Construction workers, now unemployed, reduce their spending. This further dampens demand, impacting other industries. Suppliers of building materials face declining orders, leading to layoffs in their own workforce. The cycle of decline spirals outward. The story of the construction industry is just one example. Similar patterns play out across various sectors when demand falters. From manufacturing to retail, the effects of economic inequality permeate the entire economy, leaving a trail of unemployment and despair in their wake. For those caught in the grips of poverty, the consequences of economic inequality are most severe. Limited access to education and healthcare perpetuates a cycle of disadvantage. Without quality education, individuals lack the skills and knowledge to compete in a rapidly changing job market, often relegated to low-wage, insecure jobs with limited opportunities for advancement. Poor health further exacerbates these challenges. Inadequate healthcare leads to chronic illnesses, hindering productivity and increasing medical expenses. This creates a vicious cycle where poverty begets poor health, and poor health reinforces poverty. Breaking free from this trap becomes increasingly difficult with each passing generation. Moreover, poverty often translates to living in marginalized communities with limited access to essential services and opportunities. These neighborhoods are often characterized by high crime rates, underperforming schools, and a lack of investment. Children growing up in these environments face significant obstacles to achieving their full potential. The human cost of economic inequality is immeasurable. It robs individuals of their dignity, their hope, and their chance at a better life. We cannot, in good conscience, allow this system to persist. We must strive for a future where everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed, regardless of their circumstances. While millions struggle to make ends meet, the wealthy elite experience a different reality. Their wealth, far from trickling down, continues to accumulate at an astonishing rate. This concentration of wealth at the top further exacerbates economic inequality, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of advantage. One of the key drivers of this trend is the nature of capital itself. Capital tends to generate returns that outpace economic growth. This means that those who already possess wealth benefit from a system that allows their assets to grow at a faster rate than the incomes of ordinary workers. Over time, this creates a widening gap between the wealthy and everyone else. Furthermore, the wealthy have access to financial instruments and investment opportunities that are often unavailable to the average person. They can afford to take on greater risks, knowing they have a safety net to fall back on. This access to exclusive markets and sophisticated investment strategies allows them to multiply their wealth at an even faster pace. This concentration of wealth at the top is not only morally questionable, but it also poses a significant threat to the long-term health of our economies. As the gap between the rich and the poor widens, so too does the potential for social unrest and instability. A society so starkly divided cannot stand. The consequences of economic inequality are all around us. We live in a world increasingly defined by two diverging realities. For the privileged few, life is replete with opportunities. They enjoy access to the best education, healthcare, and social connections. Their children inherit not just wealth, but also the advantages that come with it. Meanwhile, the majority of the population grapples with stagnant wages, rising living costs, and diminishing opportunities. They work longer hours for less pay, struggling to keep up with the rising cost of basic necessities. Their children face an uphill battle, burdened by the legacy of inequality. This stark contrast is evident in various aspects of life. We see it in the quality of education, with well-funded schools in affluent neighborhoods standing in stark contrast to under-resourced schools in disadvantaged communities. We see it in access to healthcare, where the wealthy can afford the best medical care, while others struggle to afford even basic treatment. This tale of two realities is not sustainable. It breeds resentment, erodes social cohesion, and undermines the very fabric of our society. We cannot afford to ignore this growing divide. We must bridge the gap, not widen it. The evidence is clear. Capitalism in its current form is failing to create a just and equitable society. The system's inherent flaws have led to a world marred by economic disparities, where the rich get richer and the poor are left behind. We can no longer afford to cling to the status quo. The time for change is now. We need to move beyond the outdated notion that greed is good and that unfettered markets will magically lead to prosperity for all. This ideology has failed us time and time again. It's time to embrace a new economic paradigm, one that prioritizes the well-being of people and the planet over profits. This requires a fundamental shift in our thinking. We must recognize that economic justice is not a zero-sum game. When everyone has a fair shot at success, the entire society benefits. We need policies that promote equitable distribution of wealth, invest in education and healthcare for all, and create opportunities for upward mobility. This is not a call for revolution, but rather for a thoughtful and deliberate evolution of our economic system. We must learn from the mistakes of the past and chart a new course towards a future where prosperity is shared and everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Imagine a world where economic inequality is not a foregone conclusion, but a problem of the past. A world where every child, regardless of their background, has an equal opportunity to succeed. A world where everyone has access to quality education, healthcare, and a decent standard of living. This is the promise of a more just and equitable economic system. Achieving this vision requires a multifaceted approach. We need progressive taxation policies that ensure the wealthy contribute their fair share to society. We need to invest in education and job training programs that equip individuals with the skills they need to thrive in the 21st century economy. And we need to create a social safety net that protects the most vulnerable among us. This is not about punishing success or stifling innovation. It's about creating a level playing field where everyone has a fair shot at achieving their full potential. When we invest in people, we invest in the future of our society as a whole. The journey towards economic equality will not be easy. It will require courage, compassion, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. But the rewards, a more just, equitable, and prosperous society for all, are well worth the effort.
Redefine the state of human existence. ULM is driving a social movement for happiness-centric system, drawing real leaders across the globe to solve humanity's biggest problems. What does ULM do? ULM produces system-related knowledge, products, solutions, and leaders to bring about a global system change and thereby transformation of the human condition. Why we need system change? The existing system is fundamentally inadequate and not designed for a happy life, as is evident from the result. Why we need system change? Existing economics only entertains 10% of people. It excludes the majority from its fold and keeps them as slaves, laborers, poor, etc. It makes 90% of the people as tools of 10%. The 10% also do not live a secure life when the people around are struggling to take their position. What do we mean by the happiness-centric system? The happiness-centric system means everyone gets desired education, desired job, desired relationships, desired products and services, a feeling of freedom, security, and peace. The happiness-centric system means political power with people, 24x7, equal rights and no discrimination, pollution-free world, thriving ecosystem. In short, your life moves as per your wish in a well-thought-out cultural framework. Goods. How is it possible? By adopting an intelligently designed system. Our proposal: new economic model. Vote: new political model. New education model. New lifestyle and cultural model. New family model. New philosophical model. What is happiness-centric system? A happiness-centric system is a non-monetary, non-market-based life management system, or in other words, the theoretical framework for a unified global societal system. This is a new socio-economic political model comprising subsystems such as a new economic model, new political model, new education model, new lifestyle and cultural model, new philosophical model, and a new family model. All these systems together are directed towards the happiness of human life, and together constitute happiness-centric system in which all requirements are mutually and optimally fulfilled. This system utilizes measures of happiness and life satisfaction to make decisions and assess performance. What is happiness-centric system? The happiness and well-being model created by ULM, integrated with system theory, gives birth to the happiness-centric system. In short, this framework enables subjective happiness to be defined, planned, and managed, for in such a way that each individual experiences true freedom, meaningfulness, enjoyment, and well-being while living in collective cooperation. There is no need to reform a person. Every person already moves for his or her happiness. The system should be such that everyone gets to their desired happiness smoothly and continuously. Premjeet, founder and president. Subscribe YouTube channel ULM Hindi, ULM English, ULM Punjabi, ULM Bangla, ULM Russia. Hundreds of videos explaining the system and its philosophy. Subscribe Facebook page संपूर्ण समाधान, एक नई व्यवस्था, Universal Life Management, Complete Happy Life for all over. 100 Facebook Live events held since June 2020 to explain the new system, its philosophical base and roadmap to system change. Join Open Dialogue Forum events, ULV, Meet the Valiant, Q&A in over 300 online meetups since May 2020 to bring consensus and clarity on various controversial topics dividing society. Our university visits. We have toured several universities and participated in conferences in India and received appreciation for our concept and work. Our findings can solve unemployment, falling democracy, 000 income, inequality, conflicts and wars, corruption, discrimination based on gender, caste, race, climate change, terrorism. We provide practical answers to ultimate purpose of life. How can we solve phobias and depression? What constitutes happiness? What is consciousness? How to know what is the right decision? Is happiness and suffering two sides of same coin? Our workshop systems approach for global challenges. Complete philosophy of life. The happiness-centric system. Complete self-knowledge. How system affects human behavior. Our work. 20 Academy, Percent Social System, Open Dialogue Forum, ULM Programs, ULM New Culture Academy, transforming the cultural landscape through media, art, and learning programs. ULM Programs, De-Social System, Redesign System Research and outlining new societal system standards. ULM is developing a global systems research institute center that shall drive various research programs to facilitate system change, shall bring the best minds of this planet together to conceive system-based solutions for various challenges that affectives of all people. ULM programs. Open Dialogue Forum. Deliberation on existing knowledge to create consensus in society. ULM is shaping a global dialogue platform in which all the world's masterminds can come and present their solutions for the benefit of human life. ULM has developed a unique format for dialogue and line of questioning so that clarity emerges about each proposal, and eventually people can easily choose the most suited solution for them. System Change Roadmap. Documenting the theoretical framework of the system-based solution and its philosophy to solve global challenges. Completed dissemination of knowledge products, extensive public discussion and campaigning, the emergence of local chapters and global community supporting system change, ongoing establishment of Global System Research Institute and emergence of detailed system design. Conducting surveys, and if public is in support of system change, then registration of a political party, national level election win. Replacing each nation's constitution with the new system standard. Declaration of World Government. How you can participate. Simply, support the cause without a contribution, or join the movement as per your interest, talent, skill, and capacity. This is a volunteer-driven movement. Contribute time, join ULM. Working groups and local chapters. Contribute money. How you can participate? Volunteer in ULM projects, podcast, books, films, blog, workshop research, YouTube courses, arts, web design, awareness campaign. Contact us for more details.
जीवन दर्शन देखा देखी ये व्यवस्था, पहले जीवन दर्शन देखा देखी ये व्यवस्था, खोज निकाली प्रेमजीत जी ने। समम पूर्ण समाधान व्यवस्था। पहले जीवन दर्शन देखा देखी ये व्यवस्था। आदमी का मूल उद्देश्य सर्वदा सुखी, आदमी का मूल उद्देश्य सर्वदा सुखी होना, सुख के लिए होती नहीं कोई भी अवस्था। पहले जीवन दर्शन देखा देखी ये व्यवस्था। मोक्ष का जो अर्थ पूछा साधु संत के जाकर पास, मोक्ष का जो अर्थ पूछा साधु संत के जाकर पास, जवाब से संतुष्ट हुए ना उन्होंने खोजा फिर कुछ खास। जीवन की हो कैसी अवस्था। पहले जीवन दर्शन देखा देखी ये व्यवस्था। मिलकर सभी कार्य करेंगे लाने में ये व्यवस्था। हाथ पकड़कर साथ चलेंगे जैसी भी हो अवस्था। जन जन के सहयोग से ही आएगी ये अवस्था। खोज निकाली प्रेमजीत जी ने सम, मिलकर सभी कार्य करेंगे लाने में ये व्यवस्था। हाथ पकड़कर साथ चलेंगे जैसी भी हो अवस्था। जन जन के सहयोग से ही आएगी ये अवस्था।